time?
I'm having a great time. Everybody's smiling and laughing. But there's something wrong with this place.
Hey guys, Society Reviews here, my review of the film Blink Twice. A film about a billionaire who takes a bunch of women to his private island where evil and debauchery run amok. Where have I heard this story before? Last year, the film Sound of Freedom was a movie that looked to shed a light on the world of human trafficking, specifically child trafficking. The media's reaction to that film was hostile, but not because of anything regarding the quality of the movie, but because of the subject matter of the film. The media attacked Sound of Freedom because it didn't like a film that was opening people's eyes to the secret world of sex trafficking that the richest and most elite in our society created, especially if that trafficking involves children. Fast forward 1 year and the latest movie from Amazon MGM Studios is flirting with similar things in their movie. Zoe Kravitz was somehow given $20 million to write, direct, and produce her very own film that's all about the evil things that happen on a private island owned by the rich and the elite. While some of you are already drawing parallels to a well-known story involving a man who we'll simply refer to as Jeffrey, the elephant in the room regarding this film is asking the question, is Hollywood giving the green light to make content about the Jeffrey situation, or is this Hollywood presenting us reality under the thinly veiled guise of fiction? I guess there's only one way to find out. Blink Twice is a film about a couple of cocktail waitresses named Frida and Jess who are stuck in the low life but thirst for something more. Frida becomes infatuated with a billionaire tech mogul named Slater King, played by Channing Tatum. After meeting him at a charity event, Frida and Jess decide to travel with him to his private island for a luxurious party. The group of partiers spend the next few days drinking, doing drugs, and partying hard as one day after another passes with little incident. It is only when Jess is bitten by a snake that she begins to panic and realizes something is not right with this island. As the days go on, Frida begins to regain her memory and she starts to realize there's a lot going on behind the scenes. And what's behind the scenes is far darker than she can imagine. There's one word that perfectly captures the messaging and the reaction revolving this movie: hypocrisy. Blink Twice is a film that showcases the pure and unadulterated hypocrisy stemming from Hollywood's Me Too movement. Some of you guys may have been surprised to notice that this film had a trigger warning at the beginning of the movie. Zoe Kravitz understood that some of the images of women being abused could be a little triggering for modern audiences. The problem here is that the surface level concern about the well-being of women in society is exposed with this film, whether Zoe was looking to do so or not. In the film, a group of women are all taken to a private island that they all consensually agreed to go to. At face value, the women saw an opportunity to party and mingle with super rich elites on a private island and viewed it as a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to detach themselves from their regular boring lives and look for something better. Whether intentional or not, this is the perfect allegory to what happens to women the second they enter the Hollywood industry. On one hand, the industry wants you to feel terrible about the women who are taken advantage of by the powerful men in the industry, although they were the ones who were looking to obtain personal gain, even if it meant looking the other way. The problem here with this film, much like the industry itself, is that when it gets an opportunity to set things right, it no longer becomes about the abuse, it becomes about power. The character of Frida is a girl who works at a regular 9-to-5 job whose everyday life is terminally online. So when she gets the opportunity to go away with a billionaire, she jumps on it. Despite Frida being the protagonist of this movie, she is not the good guy. When her friend pleads with her that something is going on, instead of listening and accepting that things are not what they seem, she pleads with her friend not to ruin things for her because Frida wants to continue to live the lie even at the cost of the truth. The deeper into the film you get, the more you realize Frida is not concerned about the well-being of any of the women that are on the island. Frida is the perfect avatar for modern women in Hollywood today. They all knew what was happening behind closed doors and they allowed it to happen because they were more worried about protecting their status than the abuse that was going on in the industry. Instead of destroying the system that led to so much abuse, women like Frida just want to become the ones in control of it. You could tell Kravitz didn't have much to work with outside the initial premise and how she wanted to end this movie. For a film that has over 100 minutes of runtime, the film struggles to progress the story and keep audiences engaged. A near 25-minute sequence of the movie stars our cast doing the same routine of eating fancy food, getting high, and running around the compound, when you only needed to see this a couple of times for the audience to understand what is going on. For those wondering if the trigger warning at the beginning of the film was justified, the answer is no. The film has a couple of brief scenes of implied rape that come and go very quickly. As far as the casting of this movie goes, you'll recognize a bunch of faces in this film, yet no one stands out as far as acting goes. Channing Tatum, who stars in the movie, is dating Zoe Kravitz, and he tries his best to give the most convincing bad guy for the sake of his girlfriend's movie. Other actors like Christian Slater and Haley Joel Osment are only in the film to play the role of a generic slimy man, and they don't offer much more than that. The question that gets asked repeatedly throughout the course of this film is, are you having a good time? And the answer, much like the women in this film, is no. The only thing that Blink Twice managed to accomplish in an attempt to make a statement about forgiveness and the abusive power structure, Zoe Kravitz unintentionally makes the message of this film loud and clear. Money and power matter much more than anything else, and that's exactly how we got into this point in the first place. I give this film a 1.5 out of 5.
I need to find out what's really going on.
I'm just really happy you came.